Hey guys, we are back at it again. We had Seven punching Ace. We had Ace trying to escape, but the bracelet's not working quite like he thought they did. So yeah, we have that whole mess going on right now, and I wonder. We're still curious about Akane. Now, my friend pointed out that I completely missed something in. Well, no, I don't know. I overlooked it. I don't know. I was just brain farted for a second or something. But in the library, Snake had mentioned that Santa was in his group for one of the experiments. And I don't know why it didn't click sooner, because in the last episode I was like, oh my god, that's Santa, he was there, and we were friggin' told that by Snake, so I feel kind of stupid for that, but hey, sometimes you miss things. But anyways, let's continue, shall we? Junpei walked over toward him. Okay, yeah, we saw a little bit of this. He stopped and looked down at Ace with pity on his face.
Ace, you killed Kubota, Nijisaki, and Musashido, didn't you?
Wait, Nijisaki?
Yeah. He peered at Junpei, genuinely confused.
Oh, right. You don't know yet. Alright, we'll just go through them in order then. Let's start off with Kubota.
Yep, the ninth man.
You talked to Kubota and managed to convince him to go into door 5 alone. You killed him without making it look like you killed him. The way I figure it, you had 4 motives. 1. In the nonary game, the number 9 is dangerous.
Yep.
Whoever had the 9 bracelet could join whatever team they wanted. Adding 9 to any number doesn't change the digital route.
Yep.
Which means that number 9 could do whatever they wanted. You wanted to remove that threat as soon as possible. 2. You wanted the number 9 bracelet for yourself, so that you could make use of its power. In fact, you did use it in the murder of Nijisaki. 3.
Yep.
Even if his number hadn't been 9, Kubota was a problem. He knew your past. He knew what had happened 9 years before.
You know what I was just thinking about? If 9 wasn't the 9 bracelet, then how did he make that work to get a digital root of 3 in order to murder Nijisaki, right? Damn. Thinking. Big brain stuff, I don't know. Either that or Zero just let that room open at a different number in order to make him think even further that that was the number 9. Anyway. Because, yeah, he took the number 9, he was 1, and then Ace was 2, which would give a digital root of 3. I mean, unless Ace isn't really 1 and, well, no, I guess the 9 could have been the 6, right? If the 9 was the 6, then Snake and Ace would have still made 9. It might be that, actually. Anyway, okay, let's just continue. I'm sure they'll tell us.
You needed to silence him before he told anyone. 4. But last, and perhaps the most disturbing, you used Kubota as a test. You wanted to know how serious this nonary game was. Was it truly life or death, or simply a harmless prank?
Friggin' Junpei knows everything from the previous ending, essentially, at this point. I don't know how.
You convinced him to break the rules so you could see what would happen.
Other than my, meta idea. Because it doesn't even make sense. I don't even feel like it would make sense that Junpei would know all this if it was just an actual, different character in the game transmitting data. How would... And, Junpei receiving it, with that whole, morphogenetic fields and everything that they were testing. It feels more like it's feeling more and more like it's the player, because why would they know something that happened in a different, an alternate ending, an alternate timeline, essentially. But anyway, let's continue.
That was why you killed him.
I just want answers.
But he was only the first. Next was Nijisaki. While everyone was off looking for the missing parts for the Reds, you ran into Nijisaki near the big hospital room. However, because of your prosopagnosia, you didn't realize he was Nijisaki.
Oh, and that's why, you know, I keep forgetting, like, this prosopagnosia, like, when you don't really think about it, it's easy to not factor it into your thoughts, right? Like, for instance, when we just ran into Ace, he didn't say, like, how are you still alive regarding Snake, because he didn't recognize that Snake's even in the room. Although, he also didn't, I don't think he said, like, who are you? He said that to Seven. Like, who are you really to, like, Seven, because Seven knew a bunch of shit, right? But he didn't say anything about the guy in the robes, you know? He wasn't like, who's that, you know? But anyway.
Chiefly because, when you met him, he was dressed like Snake. That was why you thought Nijisaki was Snake.
No, that's not... That was Nijisaki? Why? How did...
I'll get to that. Anyway, you thought he was Snake. Snake was one of the kids in your experiment 9 years ago. You
Yep.
remembered him because he was the blind kid, but his presence made you think. Snake was one of my subjects 9 years ago. He probably hates me. But if that's true, why isn't he saying anything? Is he keeping quiet because he can't see? Or perhaps he's working with Zero to get revenge on me. Whatever the reason, anyone who knows my past is a threat. Before he tries anything, I need to get rid of him. That was when you decided you had to kill him. The murder weapon was Kubota's bracelet. You just waved it over the red. Verified your own number, and then grabbed Nijisaki's arm and forced it over the scanner panel. Then, when the door opened, you kicked him in. 9 seconds later, the door closed. And then 81 seconds passed. And poor Nijisaki was dead.
And you mean to say... Snake is still alive?
Sorry to disappoint you. All as good as new.
Yep.
Thank you for killing the wrong man. But I can't say I like knowing that you wanted me dead. Although, to be honest, even if you hadn't tried to kill me, I would still hate you very much.
Oh, yeah. Get him, Snake.
Well, I wouldn't blame you.
Ace's self-derision was frustrating. But Junpei kept his emotions in check and continued.
Last but not least, let's talk about Musashido's death. When Clover and I
Yeah,
were
this is what I
investigating
wanna
the chart
know.
room, you came over to talk to me. Do you remember what you said?
Oh, a pocket watch. Might I take a look at it?
I handed it to you, and you left the room.
Hmm.
You had been in charge of the Nonary project. Of course you would have known the solution to every puzzle.
So he solved the puzzle, went in and killed... So the number 0 guy was in the other room then, alive?
Which would mean that you
theoretically?
also knew how to get out of the wheelhouse. All you had to do was place the watch in the indentation on the door to unlock it. With the door open, you could enter the captain's quarters. Musashido was there. Conveniently placed next to him was an axe that practically begged you to kill him with it. You picked up that axe and buried the blade deep in the other man's chest.
This one seems like the most, like, conjecture that, like, you could argue isn't, like, Junpei just making up a story, you know? But, I mean, that makes sense. He took the pocket watch, went in the other room. I was curious what he was doing in there. But that's fascinating that this guy was originally alive.
And then you returned to the chart room as if nothing had happened.
There was something I wanted to speak with you about, Junpei. Could you come with me for a moment?
I had no reason to say no, so I followed you to the wheelhouse. When we stepped inside, remember how you slipped your hand into my vest? You pulled out a piece of paper, the one I used to cheat during the vote. But that wasn't really what you were after. Your true purpose had been to slip the watch into my pocket.
Oh.
It wasn't a very good plan. Had way too many holes, and someone saying the wrong thing could have brought it all down around you. You must have been desperate. But what made you willing to risk it all to do it?
So how did he know that Musashido was in the other room and he had to get in there to kill him secretly? Or did he just want to, like, look ahead just in case or something? You know? That's what I'm wondering. Why did he feel the need to go ahead in this room specifically and, like, not in any of the other rooms, seemingly?
Ace,
That was the only thing Junpei hadn't been able to figure out.
Musashido's murder is the only one I don't understand. You obviously did it. But why?
Because of this.
Slowly, Ace reached down and pulled something out of his pocket. There's a folded piece of paper.
What's with the paper?
Just read it.
Junpei took it and opened
Let's
it.
see.
What it said.
Number 1. There are 2 ways you might survive this ordeal. The first is to win the nonary game. The second is for you to confess your sins of 9 years past. I have prepared a camera in the captain's quarters. The images captured by that camera will be streamed through a satellite and distributed across the world.
Oh, damn.
Simply look into the camera and repent. Once you have confessed everything, I will release you from this ship. To make your confession more credible, I have left you a witness in the captain's quarters.
Oh.
Perhaps he will confess with you. The decision is yours. Do as you please.
That's how he knew.
0.
When I awoke in that room
Okay.
on the D-deck.
And obviously Ace knows the ship inside and out, probably, from the first experiment, so he knew after the wheelhouse was the captain's quarters, he knew that there was a witness in there, and he knew he had to take care of that witness. Okay, that makes sense.
I found that in my pocket. That was why I chose door 1 when we voted. If I went through that door, I knew I could get to the captain's quarters. As you said, I knew how to enter the wheelhouse. My plan was to find the pocket watch before anyone else. If I could, then my alibi would be set. At least, that was the plan. Unfortunately for me, you got to it first. That sleight of hand was the best I could manage on short notice.
You meant to kill him from the beginning then? Musashido, I mean.
I only knew Musashido was the witness after I reached the captain's quarters.
Yeah.
I asked him, and he answered. He seemed groggy. Perhaps he had only just awoken from sedation. I suppose Nijisaki was in much the same state. He seemed confused and disoriented when I encountered him. But yes, you are correct. I intended to kill him from the beginning, even though I didn't know who he was.
Yep.
I proceeded to the captain's quarters in order to remove this so-called witness.
Ace had confessed everything. What energy he had left him with the truth, and he sagged on his knees. Although he had confessed, his sins were not forgiven. Junpei felt revulsion for the pathetic man on the floor near his feet. But in among the revulsion was a hint of pity. After all, Ace had not been the only person who murdered those 3 men. Junpei spoke quietly.
Ace, you figured it out, haven't you? You were being manipulated.
Yes, so it would seem. I was little more than a puppet, in many ways. Everywhere I went, everything was already prepared. The Reds in the large hospital room were dismantled. Nijisaki was dressed like Snake. There was an axe in the captain's quarters. Musashido was delirious from the anesthetic, so he couldn't fight back. Nijisaki as well. In retrospect, I can't understand how I could have fallen into such a simple trap. But yes, this was a trap. It was Zero's trap. And I fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. I did everything he wanted me to do.
Yeah. By manipulating you, Zero was able to kill 3 people and keep the blood off his own hands.
Yeah, that's what I was saying last episode when he was saying that, like, Ace is responsible for all the murders, not Zero. I was like, I mean, Zero did orchestrate it, you know? If you put, 2 people in a locked room and tell one that they have to kill the other if they want to escape and leave them there long enough, one of them might do it, and it's not necessarily that person's fault, you know?
All of this was revenge for what happened 9 years ago. That's why this nonary game happened.
Not saying Ace is innocent, he's a piece of shit, though.
Am I right, Santa?
Oh shit, Junpei looked over at Santa. Here it is, maybe? As Junpei spoke, he stood up, his legs still shaky.
Huh? What the hell are you talking about? I don't know any...
Ain't no point trying to play dumb anymore, Santa.
I'm still wondering if it, like... Since we're coming up so close to the end, I feel like it has to be Santa at this point, but at the same time, I feel like they've built up the idea that it's Santa throughout this whole ending, that now I just feel like there's gonna be some twist and it's not, you know? Oh, man.
Actually, I guess I should call you Aoi Kurashiki, huh?
Seven's face was sad as he spoke.
My memory came back to me, kid. You're Aoi Kurashiki, no doubt about it. Never thought I'd be back in this room talking to you. But hey, I guess this was all part of your plan, right? After all, the person who planned the nonary game this time around was Zero. And Zero's you.
Looks like you really do have your
Oh,
memories
shit.
back, huh?
Santa's smile was sarcastic and something else.
Well, I guess there's no point in hiding it then, huh? Yeah, you got me. I'm Aoi Kurashiki.
He hasn't said he's Zero yet, though.
I was one of the kids in the nonary game 9 years ago. I made it out. So did Snake over there. But there's one thing... No, I guess there's two things you got wrong. Number one, I ain't Zero.
What?
Yeah...
Wait, what?
Sure, I was helping Zero out, but I'm really more of an assistant, like a secretary.
Is it Akane? Or the fake Akane, or whoever that is?
But an assistant's only an assistant. I didn't come up with all this. All I did was follow Zero's orders.
Then, if you're not Zero, who is?
Calm down there, Junpei. Didn't I say two things? You made one more mistake. Junpei, you just said all of this was revenge for what happened 9 years ago.
Yeah, he's about to mention then who's Akane over there.
That's why this nonary game happened. But that's not it. Revenge isn't the only purpose. There's another reason you guys were playing the nonary game. To save someone.
Save someone.
Save someone?
Right. You were brought here to help my sister. To save Akane.
What?
What the hell are you talking about? Akane Kurashiki died 9 years ago in this room. I was there. I saw...
Uh-oh. Suddenly, Seven froze. His eyes went as wide as dinner plates, and he spun around towards June. Oh my god, is he finally realizing? Junpei followed his gaze.
What?
She was gone? What? Where June had been, there was nothing. Did she run?
Where is she? Where's Akane Kurashiki?
I just got they're not gonna frickin' say some shit like, she was never here, it was all in your head. Seven began to mumble to himself, a strange series of words strung together as if his mind wasn't functioning properly. His face was twisted with effort, as though he were struggling with something they couldn't see. He gritted his teeth and pressed his hands against the sides of his head.
Oh, my head! My head, it feels like it's gonna pop.
Shit.
Seven! What the hell is going on?
Yeah, is it like more? This happened last time his memories were coming back. Is it more memories coming back or a side effect of something? I don't know.
I don't know, oh! I swear to God, my head feels like it's about to explode!
From somewhere far away, they all heard a deep, heavy noise. It sounded like a tremendous wheel slowly beginning to turn. Santa seemed to have entered an almost trance-like state. His words were calm and measured.
What was the nonary project? I'm sure you know already, but I'll tell you one more time. It was a project designed to test a particular phenomenon. And what was that phenomenon? For two organisms to communicate with one another in the absence of physical contact. The morphogenetic field theory. Could human beings use these invisible fields to exchange information? That was what this experiment was conducted to determine. There were two separate locations. One was the Gigantic, and the other was a building in Nevada called Building Q.
Uh-huh.
The 9 children trapped in Building Q were faced with numerous puzzles, copies of identical ones on the Gigantic. They were told to send their answers into the morphic field set and transmit them to their brothers and sisters on the Gigantic. The transmitters were put in Building Q, and the receivers were put on the Gigantic. Each sibling pair was supposed to be split up, but there was a mistake.
Yeah, that is interesting. Akane and Aoi were here.
Akane was a transmitter. She should have been in Building Q. However, for some reason, she was placed in the Gigantic with the receivers, like me. Perhaps she was mistaken for someone who was supposed to be in Group A.
Huh.
Whatever the case, Akane ended up on the Gigantic. I think I've told you enough. You get it, don't you? I'm pretty sure you know where this is going, Junpei.
Where what is going?
Don't play dumb. You know things you shouldn't. Things you couldn't.
Yeah.
How did you know Ace had prosopagnosia? How did you know why Ace wanted to kill Kubota and how Nijisaki was killed? Were you surprised when you found out Ace was Hongo? And what about the coffin Snake was trapped in? How the hell did you open it?
Well,
Yep.
That's...
The answer to that is easy. He knew because I knew. Oh god. Junpei was receiving information that I sent to him through the morphic field set. It's simple, really. How do I know the alternate futures, then? Imagine a river that splits in two, like an upside-down Y. The river flows from the top to the bottom from a single stream into 2 branches. Oh god, what the hell are we getting into? Ah! If only... It only flows in one direction, it can never flow backward. Information is the same way. It moves from the past to the future, but never flows backward. That's why people at the river's source in the past will never know about those downstream in the future. But the people downstream will never know about one another either. Information only flows along the path of the river. But I am different. I can manipulate the morphic field set to pluck knowledge from the future. Who? What? Who is I? Is it me? I know what happens on either fork of the river. Even though the people on either fork know nothing about one another. Now, who am I? I am I, the 9th letter of the alphabet. But I am also 0. No, that's not true. I'm not really 0, not yet. Perhaps you could say I am less than 0? I am I on the alphabet. Man, that makes me want to do the hexadecimal shit all the way down to I. I guess that's not too hard. Because, I mean, we'll just keep going with the story, but I'm curious if you do that, if you would get, like, the digital root of whoever 0 is, you know? If you actually found out, like, the hexadecimal number for I. Okay. I'd say I'm less than 0. 0 is my future. In 9 years, I will be 0. What? The fuck? Wait, what? Where did she go? Why, I'm stuck in, this screen too now. Not in novel. June. No, Akane. Where did you go?
Santa!
Why is Clover... Oh shit.
Freeze.
What? Santa's got the gun. Santa's got a gun. Guess he picked it up when we weren't watching. Looks like he turned the tables on Ace, though. Wonder how he likes having a gun to his head.
Get up.
Oh god. Sure isn't about to take that gun off him for a minute, is he? Ace isn't putting up any kind of fight. I mean, I don't think I would either, but he just looks drained. I guess he's going for the door, huh? He doesn't need to verify to go through that door, but...
Hey, what's your plan, Santa? What are you doing?
He can't get through any numbered doors with just 2 people. What the hell is he thinking?
Didn't I tell you? I'm Santa Claus. It's time for me to go make a wish come true.
Oh god. That's it? That's all he's gonna give us? What the hell does that even mean? Shit, they're out. Well. And now the gate's shut. Looks like the rest of us are stuck in here. They're all looking at me. At least Seven's headache is gone. He seems to be alright. Well, I guess there's no harm in trying. Let's see if this door still opens.
Damn. Well, it looks like this door isn't opening anytime soon.
I am confused. So, I'm trying to, like, piece it together with the info that we have while not just, like, sitting here thinking about it too long, but damn, friggin'... I'm less than 0. I will be 0 in 9 years, and they talked about, like, sending... It's like they're sending info from the past to the future or some shit, like they were talking about in that, like, little river analogy. I don't know. And, like, shit. We'll just keep going, I guess.
Oh, you mean we're trapped?
My little brain too small to figure this shit out.
So it would seem.
What the hell is Santa trying to do?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, what?
Have you considered where we are? There can really only be one thing Santa would do now.
I feel like the thing is I feel like everyone who's died up to this point, at least in this ending, so far, has only been the people that they wanted revenge on. I don't feel like it would be, I don't feel like Santa would kill us all, like all the innocent people, but I also don't know why Zero brought all of these innocent people here if it was just revenge on those 3 people, so I don't know.
No. No, you can't be serious.
Oh, but he is. Shit, we've got to do something. This is like, it's unlabeled too. Is this supposed to be in Junpei's mind? I haven't done enough in adventure mode to really, like, know it. But whenever Junpei talks, it actually mentions him talking. But, I don't know. I was just thinking, like, is there, like, something more to this of it not having, like, someone's name above it, you know? But anyway, maybe we can still get out through door 9. There's the red. Yeah, alright, we can do this. I've just gotta... No, it's not gonna work. There's no way. The 5 of us can't open this door. 2 plus 4 plus 5 plus 7 plus 8, yep. Right. I was trying to look at that and see if there was any of the numbered, like, bracelets that we thought were different, right? But all the ones we thought were different were 9, who isn't here, obviously, 6, and then 3, which none of them are here. Is there any combination that'll work?
Junpei, can I borrow your pen and notebook?
Alright, time to jot it all down again. Sure, why not? I don't think I'm gonna need them ever again. Jeez. Well, she certainly looks purposeful. Looks like she's writing equations, a lot of them. Huh, aw man, she doesn't look very happy. What? Hey, no need to be ripping pages out like that. He just said he didn't need it anymore.
What the hell are you doing, Clover? Give me that!
Alright, at least 7 got it away from her. Maybe now I can get a look at what she was writing. Let's see. Okay, so we'd be ditching, we'd be ditching Lotus, right?
What?
And there's no other way?
Lotus. Looks like she'd figured it out, though. Oh, shit. Man, this is just too cruel.
It's okay. Go.
Lotus.
Damn.
Come on, you know we can't do that.
I don't want to let Lotus die again.
Oh, don't give me that. I'm sure you'd love to get rid of me.
God damn it, you idiot!
Whoa, where the hell did that come from? Looks like she expected that about as much as I did.
Without, if you're not,
What?
look, it'd be bad, all right?
For a cop, he sure doesn't have much confidence.
Dad?
Yeah. If there weren't assholes like you around, I'd be out of a job.
Uh-huh.
Look, I'm just not leaving you behind, all right? End of story.
7.
He's right. I'm not leaving you either.
Me too.
I'm fascinated that I can't go
You
into
didn't
novel
honestly
mode.
think I'd abandon you, did you?
You're all idiots.
Oh. Act as tough as you want, Lotus. We can all see you're about to cry.
That being said, however,
Do we run these calculate? We had, in the other ending, Snake took his bracelet off. If we exclude Snake, then could we all get through a door? Right? They'd have to, well, I guess you'd have to do the math. What is it? Basically this just minus the 2. No, we still wouldn't be able to. That'd be 24, which would only come to, 6. Never mind.
however, I doubt we would be able to open the door anyway, even if we were to leave Lotus behind.
Huh?
What?
Why?
I trust you remember what happened to Ace? I couldn't, see exactly what happened, but I was able to guess what he was attempting to do earlier at the Red.
Oh, yeah.
No! What is this? Why?
We haven't had the announcement either for the incinerator yet, so it makes me think that it's not being turned on unless it's not turned on yet.
The digital route should be 9! It has to be 9! Then why? Why isn't it opening?
Just to see, why don't we give it a shot?
Give it a shot.
Yes, that is what I said.
Alright.
You were right.
Yeah, okay.
It ain't opening.
I was like, wait, wasn't there 5 people before? But I thought
But it did open
Okay.
9 years ago. The digital route was 9 then, I'm sure of it.
You think maybe they changed the settings?
Perhaps.
shit. If we can't get through the door, we can't get out. The walls are way too high. There's no way in hell we could get to that hole 7 popped out of 9 years ago. All we can do is stand here and stare at this door with a 9 on it. I guess this is it. This is the end. Feel like he gave up. What? Akane vision? Did the game just spoil the shit out of me? Damn it. I was watching. I had watched everything that was reflected in his eyes. I was listening. Every sound that vibrated in his eardrums I heard. Smell, taste, touch. I felt everything he felt. I knew. I knew everything about him. What he was thinking, what he was feeling, what he was sensing. All of his feelings and worries and fears became mine. My mind, my consciousness was inside of him. What? Through the morphic field set, we were resonant, and we were as one. I was him, and at the same time, I was an observer. What? Is this madness? It started with a tremendous noise like a clap of thunder. That was approximately 9 hours ago. A bomb had gone off on the ship we were on. That was when my resonance with him began. My resonant event melted into him and we became one inside of Junpei. Somehow I found myself in Junpei's mind 9 years in the future. What? But I didn't lose myself. I was living in 2 realities at once. One was the present, and the other was the future. Perhaps you can think of it as 2 movies showing on the same screen at the same time. Eventually, it becomes difficult to separate them and determine which movie is which. However, if I concentrated, I was able to focus on one or the other. That was why I was able to grasp what was happening in front of me.
Come on, over here!
Shit, all the kids. I didn't catch it last time, but my friend was mentioning that this girl with the blue hair, the hair was supposed to be an indicator that that was Lotus's kid. Makes sense. I don't know why I didn't click before. I think I was too distracted by these two looking like Snake and Santa. I didn't even think about Lotus's kid. Come on, over here. That was my brother Aoi. He was yelling. I followed him. Around me were 7 other children. They all looked like they were about my age.
Come on, hurry up!
We ran down a long straight hallway and burst into the large hospital room. Everyone was arguing. 2 of the boys got in a fist fight. A girl watching them began to cry. I want to go home, she cried. I want to go home. Another girl slapped the crying girl and glared down at her. Jeez! It has been 2 hours since the Nonary game began. We were starting to fall apart. But just when all hope seemed lost, Light started talking. He was blind. Light? Interesting. So is that... I wonder if that is his name, or is that the nickname he went with 9 years ago? He was blind. 9 years later, we would call him Snake.
Hello? Everyone? Could you come over here for a moment?
He was older than most of us, and his voice had authority and dignity. The fights died down, and we gathered around him.
I have a little sister. She is very important to me. Right now, she is over in Building Q, and is desperately trying to send information over to me.
They knew about Building Q at this point? Interesting.
Her name is Clover, and today is her 9th birthday.
Her name is Clover. Is that her actual name? Or are they just using that because that's how we would recognize her? As he spoke, he pulled something from his pocket. In his hand were 9 4-leaf clovers. This is where Santa got the story, right?
I was going to give these to her as a birthday present. I was outside picking them when I was abducted. I'm sure I've already told you, but I am blind. For a man who can't see, collecting 9 of a very specific plant
Of course, it's 9.
Well, it is difficult. But my sister means a great
Aww.
deal to me. And I hope that these would show her how much I cared for her. Since it's her 9th birthday, I thought 9 4-leaf clovers would be appropriate. Every one of you has a brother or a sister in Building Q with Clover. For their sake, we have to survive. We have to get off this ship. Do you understand? If we're going to do that, there are 3 things you have to remember. We need trust and love, and we have to have faith in one another.
Yep, that was what
If we can take all 3 of those to heart,
the Santa knew.
then I promise that good luck will come our way. Did you know that the leaves on the 4-leaf clover mean faith, trust, love, and luck? Those words are leaf words. So if you believe what I've told you, and you understand, then I want you each to have one of these. They're a promise between friends.
Nice. And all 9 of them are alive at this point too, which is... I was curious how much this one went in accordance to the other one, you know? But that one didn't have the... that one didn't have someone dying in the first little segment. He gave a clover to each of us. I took one too. Eventually, he was left with only a single 4-leaf clover. He had one last thing to say.
Don't ever forget. So long as you have that, we will always be connected. Do you understand?
When he finished, the tension of only a few minutes before was gone. We were calm. After that, we ran around the ship for a while longer and opened several of the numbered doors until we finally found a door with a number 9 on it. In fact, there were 2 doors with 9 on them, and we found them in the chapel. We split into 2 groups and walked through the doors. Right. Okay. Before long, we all found ourselves in a room with a ceiling that looked like an upside-down funnel. For some reason, this room had another number 9, but this time it was only 1. It was only the 1. But if there was only 1 door, that meant only 5 people could escape.
What are we gonna do? There aren't any other doors.
We began to panic. Then, as if things had not gotten bad enough already, the incineration started.
Warning. Warning. Emergency incineration command has been acknowledged.
So this is where 7 busts in. All these other kids are still here, right? Because in 7's story, he mentioned going and getting the blanket, coming back, and some of the kids were gone because he let 5 of them go, right?
Automatic incineration will take place in 18 minutes. Please evacuate the incinerator immediately. Repeat. Emergency incineration command has been acknowledged.
What? What's happening? What did that thing say? That didn't sound good.
My brother Ali swallowed hard and answered.
I think it means this room is gonna burn.
Burn!
The plaque on the door says incinerator, and that voice said that the incineration is about to start. And incinerate means to burn.
No! Help me!
Damn. Abject terror filled the room as everyone began to scream and cry. Every pair of eyes were filled with despair. Then, high up on the wall, the door opened and a man appeared. He was a huge, frightening mountain of a man, as large as a bear. 9 years later, we would call him 7.
Don't worry, kids. I'm not your enemy. I'm one of the good guys. I'm a detective. I'm here to rescue you.
The rest happened just like 7 had said it did. The 4 of us who had stayed behind were saved by 7. We crawled through the vent away from the incinerator and slid down into the hall. We came out on the other side of door 9. On the wall opposite the door was a set of double doors. We went through those and began to run up the spiral stairs. As we ran, I led the way. Wait, what? No, she was stuck behind in 7's story. Behind me were Nona, my brother Ali, Snake, and 7. The other children, the ones who'd gone through the 9 door before us, were up ahead. I could hear them cheering each other on. We ran and ran and ran. We leapt across as many stairs as we could and kept running. What? This is not how 7 told it. The stairs spiraled upward like a tornado. Eventually, I pulled ahead of the rest. Perhaps Nona had slowed them down. I didn't want to lose them, so I slowed down as well. I didn't stop, but I glanced over my shoulder from time to time to see if they had caught up. That was when I realized.
No, where is it? Did I drop Jumpy's present?
Oh no. Wait, so they got that far before she turned back? I thought they were just going up the stairs and stopped, like, on the stairs. I knew I'd had it with me when we passed through the vent. Jumpy's present. Then, had I dropped it as we slid out? I had to go back. I had to. But I knew I couldn't tell the others. They would stop me, I was sure of that. What was his present? I didn't, unless she's like getting the 2 different, no, because I don't think we gave her anything in our future timeline. I was wondering if she was like confusing the future with the present. I didn't stop to think, I simply moved. I ran to the central hall, the room that connected to all the other areas of the ship. I hid in the shadows, and moments later I felt a rush of wind as they ran past me up the staircase. Okay. So there was another staircase, I guess. Yeah. Hold on. And so I ran to the central hall, the room that connected all the other areas of the ship. I hid in the shadows and moments... Okay, that confused me a little bit. I thought they were going up that staircase that was in that picture earlier, but now they just showed it again? Them going up it? And she was saying that she was hiding in the shadows near the central staircase, which doesn't look like that staircase at all. I'm a little confused by that, but I'm just gonna assume that it works out, I guess. In the way that Seven told the story too, you know? I guess. I waited until they were out of sight and then I ran. I moved as quietly as I could, down and down and down. Finally, I reached the bottom deck. I ran into the hallway and looked around frantically.
There it is!
It was just where I thought it'd be, sitting under the opening of the vent. I ran over and snatched it from the floor, but as I ran back toward the stairs in freedom... Yep, he came in. What was the gift, though? What was the present? The door to the incinerator opened and a man stepped out. I guess it might not matter. It was Hongo. Gintaro Hongo. 9 years later, we would call him Ace.
Ah, how wonderful to see you decided to come back.
His smile made my blood run cold. It looked mechanical, as if someone had simply pulled up the corners of his mouth.
Come with me. We must continue the experiment.
I shook my head, eyes wide. Slowly I began to walk backwards. 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps. Then I spun around and broke into a run. I felt Hongo's hand close over my left wrist.
I said, come with me.
Yeah. There was an edge of insanity to his voice now. I pulled as hard as I could.
No! Stop! Let go of me! Let go!
I shook my body and flailed my arms, trying desperately to get Hongo to let go of me. But I was still only a child. I was no match for a man like Hongo.
Stop struggling, goddammit! Do as I tell you!
He heaved on my arm and tried to pull me to into the incinerator. I screamed.
Help me! Somebody help me!
Then, suddenly...
Akane!
The door to the stairs flew open, and my brother Aoi burst out of it. Behind him came Seven and Snake.
Akane!
He cried my name again as he leapt toward Hongo.
You came back!
I cried out. But then...
You're too late, idiot!
Hongo threw his full weight against my arm, pulling us both into the incinerator.
Ah!
Jeez. The force of it threw me to the floor. I scrambled to my feet and looked toward the open number 9 door. Hongo stood between it and me, but behind him I could see my brother, his fists clenched. But those fists never reached Hongo. Damn. With the cold, heartless screech of metal on metal, the door slammed shut. Hongo glanced at me mechanically, his face registering that there was an object there, but not anything he would consider a human being. Then he turned away and walked to the red that sat next to the door. He reached into his pocket and removed 2 bracelets. He waved them both over the scanner panel. 2 asterisks appeared on the red. He checked the screen, then tossed the bracelets carelessly onto the floor. What was he doing? What was the point? He made no effort to explain himself, of course. He said nothing at all and walked past me as though I were nothing more than a rock by the roadside. A few moments later... Huh... The 2 other doors slid shut as well. Faintly, I could hear someone pounding on the door behind me. I turned around and ran toward the door with the 9.
Akane! Akane!
So,
Are you okay?
he registered 2 bracelets. It didn't actually show him open the door, though. Did he actually open the door? Why did he register 2 bracelets in there? I could hear a voice from the other side of the door. A worried, frightened voice.
Help me!
My throat was already raw, but I screamed as loud as I could. My voice echoed lonely around the empty room.
What should I do? I think I'm trapped in here!
Where's Hongo?
He went out the other door!
What?
Then it started again.
Warning.
Yep.
Warning. Emergency Incineration Command has been acknowledged. Incineration will begin in...
Oh, we're back to Junpei vision. Okay. We're actually gonna stop here, guys. I think this is a decent place to stop. As good as any there will be, you know, so... Man, this is actually pretty crazy, guys. Let's actually save so I can talk for a few without having this alarm, actually. But... Yeah, guys, so... I'm at a loss for words. Like, so apparently the Akane from the past is somehow linked to Junpei and transmitting data from the last time they were, or from the 9 years ago. But how does that still doesn't explain how Junpei knows so much, right? I mean, unless maybe they figured out the bracelet thing, so he could have got the code to the coffin, right? They could have figured that out back then. But things like how he knew from the alternate ending, he knew, like, all info from that, like Ace killing Nijisaki and all of that. He knew all that, the prosopagnosia, all that. Like, they haven't explained that yet. So, I don't know, I'm just so confused. Like, I'm intrigued, don't get me wrong, I super want to know what happens. But, I have no theory anymore. Like, my whole theory was, like, some meta thing, but no, now it's some, like, transmitting data from the friggin' past to the future or some shit, I don't know. I would have never guessed any of this. There's no way I would have ever come up with this on my own. But, I mean, that's the nature of a good game, right? If I can come up with it on my own, it isn't going to make it as interesting. But, anyways, this is some crazy stuff. I am super excited to continue and see what happens. We may only have, like, 1 episode left, so, yeah. Like, I guess I can't see the flowchart from here, but yeah, we're close, guys. Oh, man, I don't want this game to end. It's a freaking mind blower, but... Anyways, that's going to be it from me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. Hit that subscribe button if you did. I very much appreciate it. Bye-bye!